What's up, family? Welcome back to the Stop Sinking Show, where we go from struggle to flow. People talk about peace or trying to attain it as if it's something apart from what their life is. Like it's its own thing, and somehow their current life is not contributing to it. And despite how difficult your life is, the reason I believe that peace is still always available to you is because the idea of peace that you have is causing you to look for it in all the wrong places. I read a Naval quote the other day that said, if meditation was easy, you would do nothing else. And quite often we associate peace with that meditative, silent state with our eyes closed and the world shut out. And though you can experience a bit of peace there, what it's really driving at is presence. And even the greatest of meditators don't report being able to have complete presence for much longer than 7 to 10 seconds. And that's fine, because that's not even the goal of meditation. Meditation is not about being able to hold your presence. It's more about being able to know where your attention is and be able to observe where your attention is. And then to have a form of distance from it, a form of metacognition, where you know what you are thinking about. You can think about the thinking. And you can call that presence, I guess, and it is, but in a different sense than the one that gives you the kind of calm I'm talking about. This meditative presence gives you understanding and detachment from the play of your mind, and is definitely calming in a sense, but it isn't something that you get lost in. To me, the most calm I am is in a state of flow. When I am on the edge of difficulty and on the edge of my understanding and the edge of my abilities, and trying to channel it into something like creation or exertion. Usually you won't reach this state unless you are challenging yourself. And you'll find the most serenity in your most strenuous moments. That is what I mean by that you are looking for peace in all the wrong places. Most of us are trying to look for it outside of our life, outside of challenges, outside of the difficulty, outside of the grind, outside of what demands we have on us. And I'm here to tell you that your peace is actually within those things, not outside of them. The reason why you don't feel it is because you aren't pushing those things enough to have it bring you out to that edge. I first realized this not when I was pushing myself, but when me pushing against everything caught up with me. At age 19, I got pulled over late night and I got a DUI. And I remember the few hours I spent in a holding cell in the precinct, small-time jail. It was Friday night, heading into Memorial Day weekend, which, if it wasn't for my lawyer, had been already determined for me and all of us to not see a judge until Tuesday. That meant 4 days in this jail. Luckily, that didn't happen, and I was out within a few hours. But when I was sitting there, contemplating life, I was the calmest I had ever been. I still remember it. I considered all my options. I realized I could have gone crazy, looked like a madman shaking the jail bars violently. But what happened instead was me submitting to my powerlessness and me realizing how little control I had and how I was meant to sit there accepting. And I slept. That's how calm I was. In a few hours I was in there, I was calm. I slept. Calmer than I've ever been. And so at 19, I built this connection. And every time I have experienced calm like that since, it was always in the most difficult of moments, the hardest of workouts, the most demanding, nerve-wracking of situations. In the middle of when you can barely catch your breath, there is no time, no space for anything else to exist but peace. It is only peace, clarity, silence, serenity that exists there. It's like the whole world fades away and you zoom in into a hyper-focused tunnel vision version of reality where nothing else exists. And that only happens when something truly grips you. Not usually in things you softly walk to. It has to grip you. Every bit of you comes alive. And in those moments of execution, in the lifting of that heavy top set, in the presenting of your most valued sentiments, in the delivery of your most deepest insight, in the most demanding moments on your heart, you are the most alive, the most present, and the most at peace. There is no peace outside the most pressing of moments. All that other pseudo peace is vacational, and all the real peace is vocational. It is in your calling that you find it. When you are being called to the most of you, that's where peace lies, right next to progress. Love you, family. Stay true. See you on the next show.